You know, I haven't totaled it up, but on this page we have gone over hundreds of Temu items. In those Temu items, we've gone over a couple of random flashlights, like this one. This was one of the first flashlights I bought from Temu. It's small, it's simple, it's got a USB recharging, micro USB, but it still works. I've been using this flashlight for months. It just kind of sits around because it's easy, it's simple, and it's pretty rugged. But due to many comments and requests, today, we're gonna see what else Temu has to offer. This is definitely one you're not gonna wanna miss, so if you like content like this, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, throw a comment down below, let me know which one's your favorite at the end. So if you like flashlights, you wanna know what's going on, and you wanna see what Temu has to offer at pretty crazy prices, for what you guys are here to see, the flashlights. Let's get into it. So full disclosure, all these flashlights have been opened on the live stream that happened on Friday. I didn't go into great detail with them, but we like to open packages and talk about them on the stream. It was an absolute blast, seriously. For everybody who showed up, thank you. Live streams will be Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So come on out, check it out. We do some random giveaways, we talk about stuff, we give some tech advice, take some tech advice. All right, so real quick, the very first flashlight we're gonna go over is one I already went over in a previous video. This one was about $4. It's a small, simple flashlight that charges with micro USB. Now this is not the brightest flashlight in the world. It's just a very basic, simple flashlight. So for future testing processes, lights, knives, all sorts of other things, I'm gonna start investing money in testing equipment because I wanna give you guys a reasonable way to measure what the actual quality is. Aside from me just showing it to you, I wanna kind of step it up a little bit. So for this video, I took a pretty basic step. I bought a light meter or a lumen tester. This just gives you a general idea on the amount of light coming out of a light. So for future videos, if there's anything else like this you wanna see, let me know. So this light meter was about 35 bucks. When I was doing my research, the prices range heavily. These things can get up very, very expensive. In the box, pretty simple. Got a user manual, some AAA batteries, and the light meter itself. So I went with this light meter because one, it's not a crazy high price, and two, it had really good reviews. In the reviews, a lot of people compared it to very expensive light meters. I'm guessing business people who work in the light industry and need to test this kind of stuff. And they had some good images in the reviews, some actual physical comparisons showing that it was pretty accurate, up to 200,000 lumens. So just to get a reading at the light that's here right now in the studio, we're at 1600. All right, jumping into the first light. This one, when I first opened this, my first thought was, wow, this looks super cheap. But I was kind of more impressed the more I got into it. So first thing you got in here is a user manual. Super cool note about the user manuals. I noticed something new on Temu. When you go and check your previous orders, for a lot of products, it gives you the option to download these user manuals. So in here we have the light, we have a carrying strap, a USB Type-C, love to see it, and then a belt clip. This will just clip on the side, allow you to hold it onto a belt or something similar. So looking at the design, you're gonna notice it has this kind of weird iridescent light color going on, like a plastic. It's a harder plastic, but something about it just seemed different to me at first. A bunch of surface mount LEDs on the side, then the main light. So let's check this out. So first, you got your main light. Honestly, decently bright, nothing crazy. Now, throughout this video, I'm gonna be throwing the prices up here and the lux number will go up here. So if you click, next you got the flashing light. I don't like to show that too much. You know, I don't want to mess with people who happen to have issues with flashing lights. Now this one got me on stream because I was sitting here clicking through the buttons, and when this light came on, it blinded myself. Those side lights are crazy bright. We'll put the lux number up here for the side lights as well. Now let me show you one of the coolest functions to this flashlight. All right, got a little light difference going on in here, but you'll notice it's glowing. So if we turn it on, let's turn on the side light here. If we turn on the side light, kind of cover it with our hands a little bit, then turn it off, you'll notice the glow is pretty bright. It also has some red and blue lights. I don't know why these are on a lot of Temu flashlights. I would not recommend using them in a vehicle. Maybe it's for emergency purposes to help people find you. But overall, pretty solid little flashlight. Another quick cool purpose about this light is if you go ahead and check the back, it's got a very strong magnet on it. All right, moving on to our cheapest light of the entire video. Now these ones here, I see these a lot, and honestly I ordered these so I could use them. So if we take a look here, pretty simple package. You have an on and off button, 2 finger holes. These go on your fingers. So take it kind of like so. Then you can wrap this piece around your wrist. Super easy on. And then you got the lights. Now I will say these ones kind of disappointingly bright for the size. We'll put the measurement again up here, price up here, but you know, it's comfy, and if I'm working in real tight spaces, it'll probably still help. This is gonna be one of the ones that I'll test and do an update on down the road. Pretty simple. I'm guessing it uses some type of button battery. Big downside though, there's no place to recharge this. There's no ports, there's no nothing going on. So you'd have to take off this screw here and replace probably a $4 to $5 battery. All right, coming up next, we got a camping light. All right, so this one comes with a USB Type-C cable to charge it, as you can see here. Again, love to see it. Glad to see that these companies are spending that extra 12 cents to put in a much better connector. So this one is designed to look like an old iridescent bulb. Now, if you look here, those lines inside are actually super tiny LEDs. So let's check it out. So a cool aspect about this, you take this camping, hanging up in the top of the tent. It's got its own little carabiner type clip up top. And it's got multiple light modes. 1, 2, 3, and off. Not too much else to say about it. It's made of plastic, so it's not gonna break very easily. Again, it's not the fanciest light, it's not the brightest, but it serves its purpose. This is just kind of bulky, as opposed to something like this that could just magnetize on. It's the middle of winter here, so I don't have a great way to test this. This is a mosquito repellent lamp. Now, if this actually works, depending on what comes in it, this could be entirely worth it, but I don't have a great way to test to see exactly what this stuff is. I tried looking online, I couldn't find it. Now, if this is some kind of deep pad or something, it'd be great. Now, this will be saved and used in some of the future camping videos coming up in the spring. I'm gonna go a lot deeper with the camping videos than I did last year. I will actually be taking the stuff out and using just that to camp, maybe do a little cooking. So if you guys wanna see those kind of videos, make sure to get subscribed right now because they will be coming, I promise you that. So inside you have 6 of these replaceable pads, a USB Type-C cable. Now this is kind of cool. It has a little tripod stand that comes with it. This is the same threading they use on cameras and all sorts of other things. And then you have the light/mosquito repellent unit. So the way this is supposed to work, it looks like inside it has a small heating coil. So, you know, wherever you use this, be careful. I don't know exactly how hot that's gonna get. And then on top, you have a normal flashlight right here. On the bottom, you have the threaded insert, and once again, you have magnets. These ones, also pretty strong magnets. Now, if you try, you can get it to fall off, but they're pretty tough either way. Then on the side, you have the light button. Then you have another button for turning on the coil, I believe, and then there's your charging port. First click brings on this light right here. Second click takes it through to a different level, and then the next click brings on these lights, which just look super cool, but they're not crazy bright. So if you go, you got a bright, a dim, and then a blinking. So this isn't gonna be the brightest flashlight in the world. It's not its main purpose. If it works for repelling mosquitoes, this thing could be pretty awesome. So this one's gonna have to go in my test at a later date box because again, it's winter, no mosquitoes out here. So this is supposed to be a spotlight. Now, I don't know if it really needs to be this big, but for being a spotlight, it's supposed to go a pretty long distance. This one also has a built-in battery bank for charging stuff. I believe it is 8,000 milliamp hours, so not huge, but hey, it's nice to have it if you need it. So here on the side, we have a plastic cover, flip it open, revealing the charging port, which is micro USB, and then a USB port, which I believe is the out port. You also have a battery indicator button right there on the side, and there is a nice little rubber seal on this, I guess to kind of help waterproof it. Now this one is pretty bright. There's no doubt about that. So right now we're sitting in my studio room with all of my lights on. Now the lights that I have showed about 1600 lux, but keep in mind those are spread out over a wide area to give a nice open field of view. So turning this light on, already in all these lights, even shining it on the black pads up here, you can still see how bright this sucker is. Now I guess the main purpose of one like this is longer range, which is why when you look at the circle, there's a big bright spot in the middle because it is focusing the beam to a longer distance. You're also going to notice here while it's on, you got the 2 battery indicators right now. It's 2 out of 3. Pretty useful. Now coming around to the bottom, honestly probably the coolest feature that I found in this flashlight. It also has the mount, but it came with this. This is a little stand that can be used to hook onto it. So you take it, you kind of flip it open like this, and you screw the flashlight into the bottom. Now, something else really cool about this is on the live stream we were messing around, we hooked this up to my projector. This will perfectly hold one of the smaller form projectors. I mean, it's a pretty cool little mobile mount, but you get out doing something, you're working on something at night, put this bad boy out there, click it on. Super cool included stand, and then if you want to flip it around, also a bit of a carrying handle. Again, light meter up here, price up here. If you guys want to see me do anything else with these lights in the future, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to keep a lot of these around because I really want to test them, use them day to day, and see how they go. All right, coming up next is undoubtedly the heaviest flashlight. This thing is just massive. This is called the Model T80. You can see right up here on the top. Now looking at the box, you got a couple different options. Built-in battery, zoom, USB output, charge indicator, USB charging, long press switch, all sorts of things going on with this one. So right here, USB Type-C cable included. Now the coolest thing about this is also a battery bank. This one is 8,600 milliamp hours, and this is heavy. It's all metal construction except the end cap here. The end cap is plastic. It does have a battery meter here in the back. And if you turn the actual light on, you can see the battery meter lights up when the light's on. On the side of the package here, they were nice to include instructions. Press and hold the switch for 3 seconds to start the machine. They're calling it a machine. Let's try it out. So this one is a very well spread out light. This is not going to be for super long range, but this thing is bright. Cool thing about it is it really evenly distributes the light across the entire area you're using. I mean, it's all around a nice light, but this is not something you're gonna wanna carry in your pocket. This thing is massive. It does have the extension here, you can see. It'll focus down to a very small beam and then back out. And then if you come in and you look in here, you see it is a single surface mount LED right on the top there. Honestly, super bright, super nice that it has a built-in battery bank. So if you need to charge something else, you got it on your hand. It's got a nice little wrist strap to it. Okay, this next one here is the most intricate one. This is under the survival light category. I have a lot of requests for survival type gear. Opening it up, you can see it does come with a nice plastic case. I mean, it's not a Pelican case, it's not the most expensive thing in the world, but for that price, first thing we pull out inside is a spacer and then a AAA battery holder. This is gonna allow us to use multiple types of batteries. This one's pretty cool that it comes with those. Also includes the AAA batteries. We know those aren't cheap anymore. Given I have never heard of I'm not even gonna try to say that name, but I've never heard of it. Once again, USB Type-C, like just about everything we've gotten today. Love to see it. You have a nice included carrier, so it's got this kind of stretchy material. Slide this right here through your belt loop, slide the light in, boom, off to go. Now there is one other thing that came in here that I've already stuck inside the light when I had it open on the live stream. I will show you. Honestly, this is probably the coolest part about what this uses. So this flashlight either uses AAA batteries or this absolute monster. This is what's known as a 26650 rechargeable lithium ion battery. Now, this is the same type of batteries they're gonna use in Teslas and all sorts of other electric vehicles and powering homes. Basically, that's just what they do. They take batteries similar to this one, definitely not gonna be this brand, and they mass them all together and boom, you got a ton of power. But these batteries are very easy to get if you ever wanted to buy extra replacements. They tend to last and recharge a long time. And if the stickers are true, 5,000 milliamp hours in a flashlight / power bank is gonna last you a very long time. That's right, this isn't just a flashlight. Once again, this doubles as a battery bank. So take a whole bunch of these with you, 4 or 5, you got 20 to 25,000 milliamp hours at your fingertips, ready to go. So to run this, you can either put the AAA batteries in here, put the spacer on, slot this whole unit in like so. But me personally, if I'm gonna use this, I'm never gonna touch those AAAs. I am going to slide this big monster of a battery in and run with it. May consider buying some more in the future if I end up using this light a lot. Now, one small concerning aspect about these coming with it is these do not say anywhere on them that they are rechargeable. Now, they might be rechargeable, they might not be, but I don't think there's gonna be any kind of safety mechanism that's gonna stop them from trying to charge these, causing these batteries to go bad quickly. and possibly causing them to break apart, corroding the inside of your flashlight. So my personal recommendation is if you get this one, which I mean, it's solid. It's metal, it's bright. Again, Lux up here, price up here. It comes with the battery, it's USB Type-C. You can charge from it, like all around, pretty solid. So, you know, this is definitely gonna be a recommend flashlight here. Instruction on this one, absolutely solid. Nice little things holding in the buttons here, little screws. You have a water seal type cover here in the back, showing your input and output. It says 5 volt, 1 amp for input and output. Now the coolest part about this one that makes this one so bright is this. So inside, there are 4 surface mount LEDs on a single panel, and the light is massive. If I'm guessing, this is probably one of the brighter ones. It makes a pretty cool pattern. Now, if you're looking at this pattern here, the cool thing about this pattern is it shows the 4 individual LEDs. Again, we'll try to show it here. I always thought it was kind of neat. You can see the cross in the middle because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different lights going on. I'll rate them all at the end, and I'll pick out my top 3 and have you guys tell me what your top 3 are down below. All right, now we have the last one and my favorite one. This thing has got all sorts of stuff going on with it. So first off, got your user manual right here. You have a shade, we'll get to that in a second. You have the light. Then you have a USB Type-C cable once again. So this is a silicone shade. You can see its intended purpose is to go over top of the light. So if you just give this a tug, this top cap, you can slide this on right here. Now, something good to notice in here, this does have 2 different rubber seals in there helping to keep water out. And then you slide this back on here to make a nice little shade. I don't know the purpose of the shade. I don't like the shade, but it's cool that it's included. All right, so taking the shade back off, just want to show you how it worked. First thing you're gonna notice, an actual leather strap. Over here on the side, you have your USB Type-C charging port. Down here on the bottom, you have a normal flashlight, and then you have this single helix kind of design going on, this coil design. This thing does feel pretty nice. Plastic around the outside, metal on both caps, and a very, very nice knob. All right, so let me show you what this does. So you click on the top, boom, light comes on. Turn the knob, increases the bright. I love this thing. This thing is awesome. This will be going in my camping supplies. It's bright, but it's not annoying. You set it up somewhere, you got just some good ambient light. You need an actual flashlight. You just click it a couple more times, boom, you got a flashlight. Now this flashlight here, the end flashlight is not super bright. That is probably the biggest downfall of this. I imagine this is going to be one of the dimmest forward-facing flashlights, but I feel like the purpose of this is more to give you light inside of a tent, on a table, doing some work. So going back into it, you can see we have this other nice warm color going on. There are 2 LED strips running around the inside. You have the bright white, then you have the warmer light going on, this one right here. Then of course, if you click it, go back to the white, and then if you click it again, you go to the brightest setting, which is both lights on at once. This thing is awesome. 9 out of 10 on this one. So now let's go through real quick. I'm gonna pick my top 3, and then I'm gonna let you guys tell me which ones are your favorite down below. You don't have to pick from my top 3. So my number 1 for overall usefulness and quality is this one right here. Now, next one, I have to pick this in here, the one that came in the kit. This is my number 2. This is just because overall it's bright, it's more practical, very solid light. Now, my number 3 is gonna be the glow-in-the-dark one. Just because the side lights are so bright, the magnet on it is crazy strong. And let's be realistic, if you're out working on something, doing something, you probably don't wanna carry around any of these lights unless you got the belt loop going on. So this is gonna be my number 3. If you guys like this form of content, if you guys wanna see different things going on or performed in these videos, make sure to let me know down below. I always love suggestions. I wanna make my content better. I wanna be better informed and show you guys what you wanna see with these products. So on that note, like, subscribe, tell me which one was your favorite, 1, 2, or 3, and we'll see you on the next one.